welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and today's guest is a man of many titles: minister, podcaster, coach, best-selling author, husband, father, and grandfather. Known as Mr. Yu, Yusef Marshall is the founder of the Mirror Times Media and host of They Call Me Mr. Yu, a podcast brand dedicated to truth, inspiration, and transformation. From surviving near-death experiences to writing the heart of the stepfather, from advocating for children to building men's communities, Mr. Yu's mission is simple: serve God, serve people, and build stronger families. Let's welcome Stuck in My Mind, Yusef Marshall, aka Mr. Yu.
Thanks for having me in here, man.
The pleasure's all mine, man.
Yes,
Fellow Brooklynite, I'm
I
excited.
love that, man.
As always,
I meet somebody from Brooklyn, and it's like automatic friends. It's a weird thing. My wife can't stand when that happens.
I see you got our Giants in the back, even though we lost yesterday to the Dallas Cowboys.
But something good happened there.
No, the offense showed up.
Something good happened there, though.
They show
I
up.
know we lost in OT. Something good happened.
We've seen some good things from the offense because we had not scored. I don't remember the last time we scored 30 points.
A touchdown has been. It's been a long time since we got a touchdown.
But we're here to talk about you. We talk about the Giants another day. But man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, brother. Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you, man, for having me in here, man. I'm excited about this.
So Yusef, you've got two powerful conversion stories. Can you share one of that completely reshaped your life?
Oh man, conversion story. I feel like I feel like I'm converting all the time. One story. I'm not sure how much time I had to get into it, but one story. I grew up in a religious household. My mom was from the Virgin Islands. Her mother before her was from Panama, so deeply rich in Episcopalian roots. So I grew up in that situation, but it never really stuck for me. It wasn't a Jesus or God situation. It's more of a practical situation. How they walked their faith out, what they did, how they looked when they were in public, along with how they were in private. It just didn't mesh for me. So I really kind of felt like I was like just kind of being drugged to church. So being in Brooklyn, I think you could understand this as much as anybody. When you're in a situation where you don't have a strong parental base, that means maybe one parent is not in the household. It leaves you open to a lot of the I say predators because I'm just being facetious, but part of that's kind of real. People out there trying to just get young kids, young cats, try to get them involved in their stuff, add them to the team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
So it could be a cult, it could be a religious group, it could be a radical group, it could be a gang, it could be all types of stuff. Well, I was open because I didn't have a father in the household. I didn't know what it meant to be a man from the sense that, I seen it lived out in front of me. So I got caught up with the Muslims. And I was out there running with them, and they offered some things. They didn't deliver on it, but they offered me brotherhood, and they offered me fatherhood. They offered me family, but they didn't deliver on any of those things they offered me. Just real talk. They didn't give me what they offered. I signed on the dotted line, but it was some fine print I didn't see. So I walked with them for almost a decade. Yeah, about a decade, and kind of found out that you know what, that fine print started to show up. I'm like, oh wow, this is what I'm into right here, and I began to immediately regret my decision, and I saw things that I can't unsee. I got to leave it there. I saw things I just can't unsee, man. And I said, you know what, this ain't for me. I'm not saying I'm going back to the Episcopal Church. I'm just saying I can't do this part. So I began to break away from that, and in the midst of my transition, I was the victim of an armed robbery. So I was already stepping out of that world, but I hadn't fully got both feet out yet. I had probably 1 foot out, and I was the victim of an armed robbery. A buddy of mine, we were out there working the subways, like the brothers be out there doing, out there working Times Square. You've seen us out there before. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. And we were doing that, and we had bank on us walking home. And both of us got stuck up. The guy that had me stuck up, he had I'm pretty sure it was a revolver, but his hand was shaking so bad that I was not paying a whole lot of attention to that. Probably about 3.5 inches from my face. He got his finger on the trigger. Man, what is you doing? If you're going to shoot me, go ahead and just shoot. Why you got your finger on the trigger? For what? Right? So he got his finger on the trigger and his hand is shaking violent like this, pointed at my face. I'm like, oh. I'm 5 seconds from my mom's house. I'm like, you mean to tell me this time I'm going to go out? This going to be my life? So as scared as I was, part of me was like, I think I can take him. I can get this gun out of his hand. So I had me all kind of thoughts. You know, I've been watching wrestling my whole life. I can take this boy down. I know I can. I was thinking all kinds of stuff. I said, you know what? Reason kind of kicked in. I let him reach his hand in my pockets, take what he wanted, and he ran like the wind. Come to find out, I had $600 or more in my pocket. He didn't get any of that stuff. He was so scared. He took a whole handful of napkins, a broken watch that broke on the way home, and some receipts from lunch. That's what he got from me. My friend, however, got stripped. All his money was taken. And I got to my mom's step. I said, you know what? Before I walked inside, that's kind of when the adrenaline started to kind of slow down a little bit. I'm like, whoa, bro almost died 5 seconds from his mom's house. So I looked up to the sky like people do on TV, in the movies. I said, God, if you're real, I need you to show up for me. Not like you do with my mom and my grandma, show up for me. And he did that. It was a little time before I began to see it kind of manifested, but he did that. And that was kind of the beginning of one of the conversion stories.
Okay. So how did that, because this is kind of near death experience, how did that really change your approach to family, faith, and leadership?
I think what I've always taught, I've been in the coaching ranks for probably over 25 years now. I'm coming back into it again after a little bit of a break. So I just got a new practice that I'm starting up. So I'm going heavy again, just in the high performance realm. But I've always taught that, life is like a vapor, and tomorrow's not promised to anybody. I've said that on more times on social media than I can even count. Tomorrow's not promised. I know we got a calendar and there's empty slots on it, but that don't mean that's for you. we can't make assumption that, you know what, this is going to be what I'm going to be doing down the line. I can't plan for 2026 and 2027, but so much I can plan because it's wise to plan. If you don't make plans, you plan to fail. But I just kind of want people to understand that for me, at that situation, I felt like I had to look at life a little bit differently. So you know what? Because I don't know when the hourglass is going to run out on me. It might run out in the middle of my doing something that I think is important. I try to live every day, every aspect of my life with intentionality. So while people are planning weeks and months and years ahead, I'm not really doing that. I'm looking at the 24 hours and saying, how am I going to best use these? I never heard anybody teach that, so this could be revolutionary, or perhaps I'm just in the wrong circles. I never heard anybody plan out their 24 hours and say every 24 hours, that's what I'm working towards. I ain't worrying about no week from now. I ain't worrying about 7 days, 168 days from now. I'm worrying about right now, right here. I said 168 hours from now, excuse me. But I'm planning for the 24 hours I'm working with right now. How do I get the most out of it where it's not a waste, where I didn't waste my life, I didn't waste my time, I didn't waste somebody else's time. I got the maximum value out of that. And I plan my 24 hours like that. I don't care if I'm podcasting. I don't care if I'm reading and studying. I don't care if I'm mentoring somebody, or I'm taking a coaching call or a strategy call, or I'm offering something free to somebody. Whatever it is, I'm trying to make sure that in that 24 hours, I glorify God, number one, but I'm also making sure that I can live with me, because I've been through a lot of stuff, a lot of situations that I didn't have to come back from. I've been in a whole lot of shootouts where stray bullet could have got me as much as anybody else. It didn't have to get baby, it could have got me. So it's like I've been through that kind of stuff, and it makes me recognize how precious life is. And if you don't mind me sharing this point real quick, old dealing departed mentor of ours, do we have time for that?
Yeah, we have time, brother.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know. But a dearly departed mentor of ours by the name of Dr. Miles Monroe, I quote him a lot on our show because his impact on our lives and on my marriage has been tremendous. I can't even put a number on how many times he's helped us out. But he has two awesome quotes that I love. One of them that I think is amazing is he talks about how the graveyard is the richest place on the planet Earth. Not the oil fields in Saudi Arabia or in Texas. not Fort Knox where all the gold is located, but in the graveyard, because people have gone to the end of the story and they went to the end of the story full instead of empty, like they should have. And they took all the songs with them, all the inventions, all the book ideas, all of the cures for diseases, took it all with them to the grave, rather than live in fulfillment and accomplish the stuff while they had the chance, while they were alive. So to me, I'm sitting here like, I can't go out like that. First of all, I've seen too many things that say, you know what? All these near misses, I'm not accident prone. I don't see myself that way, but I had a whole lot of near misses. And I'm like, a lot of things that befell people who I knew, people who I loved, people in my community, back home in Brooklyn. Some of them cats, man, they were smart and intelligent, just around the wrong people at the wrong time. And guess what? They got. And I'm like, why couldn't it have been me? I'm as much of a target as they were in that regard. So I'm just grateful for this life, man. So I try to live it to the best of my ability in 24-hour increments, doing the best that I can to make an impact on whoever's lives I get a chance to make an impact on, including mine.
Well, when did you know you called to ministry and servant leadership?
Oh. Well, I had a little bit of a weird gift when I was a kid, especially back in Brooklyn. It was weird, man. I would just share. I had a speaking engagement Saturday. We're just talking about. I'm like, I forgot about that. People. Now I was like 10 years old. People who were in my peer group, they can talk to me about 10-year-old stuff. That's not weird. But when somebody who is 3, 4, 5, 6 times your age, in their 30s, even to their 60s, is asking you questions, that's weird to me. If you're 60 years old, what have I seen in my life at 10 that I can tell you about and give you answers about? But strangely, I had answers for these people. I had wisdom for these people. And I didn't realize that it was a gift even up to last Saturday. I didn't even think about that. All these years, it was a revelation, if you will. I'm like, oh, wow. And I didn't realize that I had the capacity to help people overcome stuff. And I'm like, okay, I know that didn't come from me. I was 10. Where I got that from? Sesame Street? Where I get that from? Electric Company? There's no way I could have learned from that to answer these kind of questions that people were asking me. And that happened my entire life. People who were way older than me were asking me questions. Just felt drawn to me. I could be at the airport, at the supermarket, and they would just ask me. I'm like, what in the world? Why do you think I got the answers? You see something on me, and something on my, And it's like I now that I look back at that now, I'm like, I have an ability to help people simplify what is complex in their life and help them get answers, and help them get results. So the ministry part, honestly, I didn't see that until I moved out of my hometown. When I was there, I didn't see that in me at all. I didn't see. I mean, I could be in. I was in churches the majority of my life. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see me as a preacher. I didn't even see me as an acolyte. I didn't see me as anything. It pertains to that. When I left New York City and moved to the South, it's like a light bulb went off. And before you know it, I'm operating in things that I never even thought about. I'm operating in prophecy. I'm operating in teaching scripture. I'm operating in Bible studies and home groups. I'm operating in traveling and leading worship and singing. I'm operating all. I'm like, that never happened in New York. I think there's something powerful about that. No offense to my hometown. I love my city. I won't let you talk bad about them. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But
Listen, sometimes I don't.
I ain't let.
I live in Pennsylvania now. I live in the Pocono Mountains now. So it's growth, it's development. I get it. I remember growing up. I'm never gonna leave Brooklyn. I'm never gonna. But to grow and experience, and you go and leave, it's life, man. Things happen. You grow, and your path is set for different ways. So yeah, man. I'm always gonna love where I come from. Like I was raised in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I know, saying the struggles I went through in Brooklyn and everything. So it helped mold me into the man that I am today. So I'm never gonna disrespect my city and not not give it the props that it deserves. But
Yeah.
as a human, you have to evolve and change. Like the South is where you went, and that's that people. I know a lot of people who left New York and realized that and it's a different world, sort of, right? Because
Oh yeah,
even when you go, because my brother lives in Charlotte, and I used to live in Tampa, Florida, so I know living in the South.
me too.
And so the attitude where you're not used to people saying good morning to you, walk like, because in New York you're just moving. People don't realize we're just moving. It's not that we're rude. We're just on the move. We're trying to get to where we got to go.
That's fair.
So we're not staying. So, but when I first experienced the South, it was walking through Walmart or something, and everybody saying hello to you and good morning, and I would respond. I wouldn't be like stink faced like if you was back home, but it's different. It's nothing like, because New York is just one big melting pot, and there's so many different vibes and energy, and
Yeah,
so
yes,
yeah, no,
man.
I feel you know, I definitely know what it is to know how the idea people have of us New Yorkers. We're not all mean, and no, it's just when we're out in the streets, we're keeping it moving. We're just out.
We mind our own business. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
we out. We're just out.
Because we know.
We just moving on. So so when you do move to somewhere else and people get to see your personality and realize like, oh man, you from New York? We all thought New Yorkers are stink attitudes, and I'm like, nah, man, we just
Oh goodness, I
it's
hear
just
that, man.
real that we
I
have.
hear that.
You know,
I hear that, man. I hear that. I had to fight that, man. Even though I was down in Tampa too. I had to fight that, man. I'm like, really? That's not
so
what New York. Stop reading these magazines, man.
so what does serving others mean to you on a personal level?
I just kind of feel like this is just my personal belief. I ain't trying to come out here and preach and nothing like that. It's just my personal belief, man. That the things that I have, they're not all for me. And I don't mean just the gifts, but even those experiences that I talk about on awesome podcasts like your show, then it's not for me. And if it was only for me, that'd be one thing. But I've seen over time that it can't be. I can't keep this kind of stuff in. I have to put this stuff out. That's one of the reasons why I even got in a podcast in the first place, because I knew that that stuff couldn't stay in me. It was for other people. It was for a generation of people, even actually. So that's 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 one way I feel like I get opportunity to serve. I do other stuff where I serve in local community and stuff, and I don't. I ain't gonna spit on that. It's valuable. It's worth something. It means something to somebody else. Even if for me, it's like, oh, they know a big deal. I can do that. I'm happy to give that to them. It means everything. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that stuff, but even in the sharing of my story, people fight for their story. Man. It's like, oh, this is my story, quote unquote. This is my truth, and they go on and all kinds of places with that. I'm like, that story, man, is to be told and read by other people. Why you alive?
Well, absolutely.
When you go, that's one thing. I mean, because people gonna read your story, and hopefully it's been a good one where they memorialize you right and pass it on to other generations. But you got a chance to have your story read while you alive.
And that
That's all
no,
I'm trying to do, man.
and the fact that we have the podcast, you have a podcast, I have a podcast, we get to share our legacy. Now my grandkids get to be like, hey, that's my pop. Look, this is a podcast, and the content that we're providing is important and necessary because we're trying to uplift others. We're here to serve others, and with the coaching and everything, and so to be able to do that and just see the results and get the messages that people send when they either watch a episode or do a, because especially recently I've come to realize like I've been having some of my best episodes just
Mm.
interview wise because I kind of switched the format and everything, and it's just been much more entertaining for me, even though I've been learning from the beginning of the podcast. So being able to do it's just been wonderful. So, but you're the founder of Maritime Media, and of course, they call me Mr. Yu. How did podcasting become part of your mission?
Oh yeah, that's an incredible story, man. Thanks for asking that question to us. That's really a good question. I love sharing about this because I feel like if anybody gets something out of this, it's a bonus, man, because this is a crazy story. It started in 2020. Now you know what was going on that year.
That's
The whole world was going back crazy
yeah.
during that
That's when I started my podcast.
year.
20.
Yeah, most of us found our voices in 2020. Most people found entrepreneurship in 2020. We found a whole lot of gold and treasure in really bad situations in 2020.
Mhm.
But I was consider myself a self-professed introvert. Was not even want to be around people. I used to go to house parties and all kind of stuff, but I was the guy on the wall watching, ready to act and move. If something break off, I was that dude. I was just like an introvert, just stay in the back. I don't need to be around the whole crowds. Everything we grew up around, all the parades and stuff, I didn't enjoy any of that. Too many people up against me. I didn't like that stuff. So that was never my thing. So to me, what happened in 2020 was great for somebody who wanted to stay home and stay away from folks anyways. Quarantine. I've been doing that. I've been quarantining for 10 years. What was that? You know what I'm saying? So doing it without a mask. So that wasn't no big deal. But one thing I always did since I was a little kid, even back home in Brooklyn, is to always write. I was writing since I was 6 years old. And when I write, it was my therapy. I used to write, take Polaroids and take pictures and put them on loose leaf paper and write stories about what's in the picture. And that was my way of kind of dealing with my surroundings. Because living in New York was hard. I mean, I don't know if you can relate to that, but it wasn't easy to live in the concrete jungle and quote unquote survive it. So I had to deal with those feelings and those issues, things going on in my house, outside my house, and my family. I'll write those things down as therapy to kind of almost keep me sane. But in 2020, the journaling and things and writing stuff down, I wasn't feeling better. That was the first year in my history where I didn't feel better with something that was working year after year after year after year. That year didn't work for some reason. I didn't feel better. I didn't feel good at all. I'm like, what happened? This has been a tried and true, a tested resource, and it's not working now. So I was kind of freaking out a little bit, like, yo, I'm starting to feel some crazy stuff going on in my mind right now. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't feel like myself. My wife didn't like me. I didn't like her. It wasn't going good. Just generally speaking, I didn't like people. Period. And what I did was, rather than taking a 24-hour news cycle, which was bad news every day, all day, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try some podcasting instead. So I got a chance to listen to folks who were in quarantine like me, talking about stuff that I cared about. And before you know it, because I was a big fan of radio back in our day, I'm talking about Kiss FM, whatever. I was down with all that stuff back in the day. I mean, it was the background from my childhood. But podcast was an easy transition for me. I listened to it. I'm like, yo, the people are talking about the same stuff I'm talking about, and they where I'm at. They get where I'm coming from. And I started listening to more and more. And before you know, I just call it epiphany right now to start my own podcast. As an introvert, I didn't want to do none of that. But I did it anyway. Got almost all my equipment for free. So I know it was a God breathed situation. And since then, I probably had like 10 shows in 2020. But I streamed it down to now about 4 or 5 shows that we have now on our brand. And honestly, I've been doing it ever since, steadily, almost full time. It's not quite 40 hours, but I've been every week I'm working.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So yeah, so I'm keeping this going, and for me, it became an opportunity to have a voice. I didn't think I had one that year. It became an opportunity to touch people's lives who are far away, who I probably can't reach out to and give a hug to. I can do that through the podcast. So I found it as a vessel for not only ministry but for encouragement, man. So every one of our shows, even I try to sneak it even into our Giants show. I got one show, all Giants show. I even try to sneak encouragement into that show every once in a while. I know it's not the same as the rest of them, but I'm about encouragement, so I try to put it out there wherever I can get my chance to do so.
Mhm.
That's what our show is about, man. It's about faith. It's about family. It's about encouragement. It's about walking in purpose every day of your life, man. So our shows are all about that, man. That's kind of how we got started, and hopefully we're doing a good job of reaching folks with that.
No, absolutely, man. And for me, when I started podcast, which was 2020,
Oh wow.
I had I had originally purchased this 160 bucks podcast studio from Amazon,
Oh
right?
gosh.
In 2019, and I was going to do a sports podcast with a friend of mine from work, and it kind of fell through. But I had this equipment, and I would record stuff and delete it, record, delete, until finally when I got furloughed from work because of the pandemic,
Mm.
home talking to my nephew, and I'm just like, you know what, record. And that was the first episode. That was just like a 7-minute talk conversation, introduction of me and my nephew, introducing everything, and that started my podcasting career. And like you, I'm a radio kid, listening to Hot 97, Kiss FM, all the different radio stations growing up.
Wow.
And
Blast
so
from the past.
and so when I started podcasting, I was like, damn, like I kind of feeling this, like I'm able to speak my mind and speak what I feel and express myself in that. And then when I started interviewing people, I started gaining some great information, some knowledge. I'm like, all right, that's a good nugget from here. I learned something from this person, and it really started helping me, like, just start become more creative. Like, I've always been a sports kid. I've always played baseball, basketball, football. Saying my mom made sure I got involved in sports, being a single parent, and she made sure, and she didn't want me to go the route that my brothers went. So
Oh yeah.
she got me into sports and got me, even though I ran the streets, just I didn't get growing up, I didn't get in trouble because my mom made sure I stood active. And so it was me, like, being able to express myself and have these wonderful conversations and start realizing, like, man, I got a voice. I
Oh
can
yeah.
do this. Like, this is, yeah, it's work. I put in hours doing my podcast. I've put in a lot of work to develop and grow. And in the process, I've learned so many different things. I've learned how to publish books. I've learned how to edit
Oh wow.
video, all these different, like, because I engulfed myself into it and started going to YouTube University and started learning all these different skills that at when I started at 44 with my podcast, I was like, you can't teach old dog new tricks. Like, whoever said that like, I'm like, right now doing some of the best stuff I've ever done, and I'm about to hit 50 next year,
You
and
look good, man.
it's like, damn, like, I could, like, who would thought later on in life that I was gonna really start achieving some stuff and finding my purpose and help deliver messages and help encourage and then uplift people. To me, it was like, damn, I love this. This is what I love to do. So I launched a production company. I launched a publishing company. I've launched an internet radio station. All these different things come from just starting the podcast.
I love that, man. You look good, man. You don't look that age at all. You look good, bro.
So you, like you said, you run multiple shows from Inspiration Station to the Men's Roundtable. What like what is, I know they all have this special kind of meaning for you, right?
No
Which
doubt.
one's the one that really is like pulls that? Because I do multiple shows. And this one right here, this is my baby. This is the one that kicked it all off for me, doing Stuck in My Mind. And
Uh,
so what for you, what was that? What's that show? What's that show that's like, I love all my shows, but this one right here is the one that's just has my heart.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Uh, nobody's ever asked me this before. This is a good question. Thanks for asking this, man. This is good, man. Uh, I think it's tough because right now, according to my podcast host, it's still officially a show, but I don't record anything on it. I just use it to share old episodes because there's like three and a half seasons of content in there that I can't just let disappear because this is what happened during the pandemic. When I started in 2020, they called me Mr. Yu, my first podcast and my only podcast at the time. So I was pouring out my whole life into that show. So for me, short answer, that's the one that's closest to my heart. Even though I'm not recording new content on there right now, that's the one. Because if you go back and listen to any of the 3 seasons, and it was audio only, there was no video whatsoever. I was free as a bird.
It's
If you,
strictly audio. Yeah.
yeah, if you listen to some of the most profound stuff I ever thought can come out of my mouth was coming out of my mouth. Things and understanding that I didn't realize I even had. It flowed out of this. That show was gold to me. 3.5 seasons of so much. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of episodes. So for me, that's close to my heart, man, because that's where I started. It reminds me of why I got into this. If I ever forget, I go back and play an episode, I'll be up in here crying. I'm at my own voice. I'm like, man, this thing is deep. And that came out of me. That's how I know it's bigger than me. And that shows a great reminder of that. I love all our shows. I love our men's roundtable. I'm pumped up for like 2 weeks after that broadcast is done because of what I hear from these men around the world and how they catch something that changes their life forever. I can't help but be pumped. Inspiration station, man. I get to talk and just kind of lay it all out in front of everybody, and it's like I'm so relieved and free, and it's like therapy for me to do that. The one-on-one flagship show, our interview show, it's the most popular thing that we're doing right now. I'm talking to people around the world, and the stories that I'm hearing, the ideas, the strategies, and tips we're getting. I can never get that in a network just in my local community.
No, no.
I'm actually searching the world for real. I'm like, this is crazy. So they call me Mr. U is the short answer to the question, but there's so much good work we're doing. It's really hard to pick, but that would be my answer.
But as far as the networking goes, man, I've built so many amazing relationships through remote recording. Like people I've started like networking through podcasting have become friends that now I know are lifelong friends. Like the conversations and the relationships I've been able to build, and the projects that I've been able to work with people, it's really expanded my circle for me. You know how we talk about the five when we talk about the five closest people to that those are the people you kind of mirror yourself after, right? So being able to build relationships with people via remote and probably not there's probably a handful that I've met in person that those relationships have become so integral in a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, because stuff that I'm wanting to learn, these people have the answer. They know, they've experienced it, they've done it. So I'm attracting people that I need and that are here to teach me, to help me, guide me. And the same way people are attracting me to their lives, so I can help them with whatever it is that I'm doing on my journey, or with whatever it is that I'm able to share, the knowledge that I'm able to share with others.
Oh, that's good, man. That's real
So
good.
so you've spoken openly about men's issues. What's the biggest struggle men carry in silence right now? At least for you.
uh, just so many things, and this is not just stuff that came out on the podcast. It's just coming out in circles in coaching sessions that I have with other men. Just sitting over a coffee somewhere, I hear this stuff. But you just feel like connection seems to be the biggest thing that I hear the most often. I'm talking to folks in Norway and in Sweden and in Canada and in Cali, and they all got the same issue, and it's the inability to connect. And it's amazing to me because it feels like for maybe, and I could be wrong, maybe some women are listening today, they might object to this, and I'm open to their opinions, but it seems like it's easier for them to connect overall than it is for men to connect. I'm a good connector. I connect people. I can go to I can go to supermarket, and I have done this many times, and I can connect with people. It ain't nothing. It's not even hard for me. I'm not bad at that. I'm not afraid to connect. Uh, I might be a unicorn in some of the communities that I'm in right now with all these men that can't connect. I'm good with that. At least I can lead the way and lead by example. But most men, they can't connect. They struggle with the idea. They can be in a room full of people at a mixer or a party or whatever, and they talk to people about their favorite football team. Forgot the guy's name. Don't know who they were even talking to. Haven't made a connection. Talking about your car or your hobby or your favorite team is not the same thing as connecting. And for me, I feel like men have thought that was the same thing, but you walk away empty. It's not. It's not the same thing. Connecting is different because in order to connect, it requires an exchange. You're giving something and you're gaining something. It's reciprocal. And a lot of men don't realize that stuff. And it's like, you know what? You got to open up and be transparent in order to be able to truly connect, because more than likely that person you're talking to needs that more than you realize. They need it more than you feel the need to withhold it. so that you won't be embarrassed, or you won't feel as though you're uh, too open or too transparent or too out there. I mean, when I talk to people who need something and I share things that are not comfortable for me, they get big time breakthrough. So I know it's true. But that's a short answer, man. Connection. Men struggle with that, man. We did an episode on a broadcast about it. It's like, man, we couldn't even finish that thing. It was over an hour and 15, and we weren't even close to breaching the deepness of that topic. So it's like that's how big it is. Connection is the biggest issue I've seen with men.
Well, my wife calls me the mayor, right? Because everywhere we go, and I know
the mayor.
I know somebody or something like, and so I've been blessed to when I that and you're right. As far as when it comes to connection, is the exchange of ideas and thoughts, and I've been able to know that when I do have certain conversations, there's times that you open up because it's let me put it this way. I'm learning at an older age now that can't talk to everybody. Not everyone is meant to have conversations with you. I'm picking and choosing, realizing like this is like you could already sit down when you're gonna talk to someone and be like, this is gonna be a waste of transferring the energy.
You know it. You know it.
Like yeah, I cut this short and move on. But then you find those conversations where you're like, damn, like this was a great exchange. Like what you said resonated with me. What I said resonated with them. So when you have that exchange, and I've been blessed now that I've been able to connect with so many people that way, and but that's also me shifting and me attracting the people that I want and need in my life to help me on my journey. And so when you start doing that, the people that need to come into your life come into your life. The conversations that need to be had are had. Like this conversation is important. This conversation is needed because there's men out there that struggle with connection, struggle with being able to talk and express their feelings because we know where we're from. We from the hood. We ain't supposed to be expressing our feelings. We ain't supposed to be telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
That's not where we from. That's not how we were built.
No, it's not easy.
Being able to have these talks and being able to express ourselves and show other men that hey, regardless of what you're going through, we know what you experiencing. Us as men know what you are going through because we've experienced similar. We're not we're because we're if you express yourself, you're weak. If you tell your feelings, if you tell people how you feel, there's weakness because people tend to use it against you.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, it's not where we're from, man. But I'm grateful for where we are right now, man. Because
so this is a question is something dear to me because I know what it means.
what
What
your brother hitting
lessons
you with?
from the heart of the stepfather do you wish more blended families understood?
Wow, that's a good question, man. That's a really good question, actually. There's a lot that I wish people understood about the blended family situation. I gotta find one thing though. Huh? All right. I think one thing I would say right off is that I wish people understood that even though the original picture didn't work out the way people think it should, there's still room for a picture. I say that because, like, say for instance, and this is not any commentary on my wife or anything like that, but just say for example, you got somebody who, say your sister marries a dude that, yeah, you ain't nothing really happening.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that delicately. There's nothing going on. There's nothing to be excited about. He ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Got 3 kids. That's the family picture. That's what you want to see happen. That's the nuclear family, if you will. That's how it looks. But things ain't vibing. Things ain't working. It's just Maybe it was a bad idea to start with. Maybe perhaps it was something that shouldn't have happened to start with. Maybe it was born in brokenness. And then your sister decides, you know what? We can't, we tried all we could. We can't make this happen. We're going to part amicably and move on. And she meets somebody who she finds to be the love of her life, who answers all of the questions, who dots all the I's and crosses all the T's. He's the one. You know what I'm saying? And then, the kids have to learn how to love two daddies and and function in that space and stuff. And I just want people to know that, even though it may not be the original, it doesn't mean that you're any less valuable. My daughter learned quick fast. I wasn't a stepfather. I was their father from the rip. They were little kids, little a little bit more older than toddlers, but they were little kids. And I was doing everything that a father supposed to do, including doing their hair. And I had no idea what I was doing. I did all that stuff. I did everything, going to the dances, daddy, daughter, I did all of that. You know what I'm saying? There was nobody, I wasn't gonna let nobody take that title off of me. You can say what you want to, but you can't have this because guess what? Bro worked in this. He slept in this. He fought through this. He wore through this. This is my title. I won it fair and square by TKO. I won this. You can't have it.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I walked into teenage girls, so with like
Okay.
school, middle school to freshman year, and now our relationship is amazing. I got 3 wonderful grandchildren, and I
Oh,
love
wow.
my grandkids. So
I
being
love it, man.
having them and the relationships that I have with them is like I don't try to replace their father, but we have a special bond. Me and the girls, we have a love. They have a love for me, and so being a stepfather to me was it's an amazing experience because I've been able to help impact these girls' lives and them have love for me. And now I got grandkids call me pop pop pop. One of them Bryson who's been a part of the show, who's come up while I've been recording and popped on the screen.
What? Come on now. That's good. That's good.
But to have those relationships and have that, so that's why when I saw your title, the thing, I was like, I could it resonates with me. This is something that's important that because there are stepfathers out there that step up and play that role and don't get the recognition that they deserve because it, it's not easy because first of all when you first start they're like, oh, you're not gonna replace my dad, but then when you start building that relationship and they kind of see who you are as a person and they start opening up to you and then the relationship changes, yeah, man, it's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, man. You have to prove that you're valuable. I mentioned that many times in the book, nine plus years ago. You don't got to try to replace anybody. Just do your job. Nobody called me a step nothing in that house. Everybody did what they were out. They were outsiders, and we didn't. And as soon as we got to our home, we shook the dust off of our feet and said, you know what? I heard what they said. Don't matter because in this house we know what it really is. I'm saying, and I was never a step nothing. You know what I'm saying? People say that out of spite most of the time. Like I ain't a step nobody. I didn't step in. I married somebody who I love, who's my best friend in the world, who I will fight, live, ride, and die for. And she just happened to have children,
Yeah,
and I love
absolutely.
them as my own. She was the first love in this situation. It wasn't them, it was her. So I didn't step in. You know what I'm saying? I just did my job.
Yeah, and then it
And
was the same thing with me. It was she's like, listen, these are my daughters. I don't expect you to, but of course, as the relationship build, you build a relationship with them too. Of course, your love starts off with her, but then as you build a relationship, your love grows to the girls. And it grew to the girls. So
yeah,
they're my daughters. They introduced me as their dad. So it's and they still have a relationship with their father, and me and him we talk and we're good. So and I don't. So it's still it's important for you to be able to and it was great that me and my wife were able to communicate that from the beginning. Like, "Yo,
oh
listen,
yeah, that is good.
I don't expect this, but if it happens, it happens. If you build a relationship with the girl, that's great. That's perfect. That's the perfect situation." And
Oh,
so
definitely.
yeah, it's important. Stepfathers, step parents play an important role and blended families and everything.
No doubt, man.
So how does your nonprofit Save the Children SC bring your mission to life in the community?
Well, we got a 4 pillars that we kind of live by that we're trying to build. Because we see what's going on with our community. We even see what's going on with our children and the school system. Even our children, but also our grandchildren. Most recently, our daughters are grown-ups now, but our grandchildren in the school system. And what we want to teach is reading and financial literacy. We want to teach social and life skills.
Mhm.
I made the assumption, I was very incorrect in doing so, but I made the assumption that the school was still teaching that. I found out real quick that ain't none of that stuff happening. They ain't even got home ec. None of that stuff is going on. So I'm like, oh wow, okay. So my grandkids were coming here with some crazy stuff. I'm like, you don't know this? You don't know how to do this? I don't understand. So I did my little research and found out that the school's not teaching that, and we just heard too much of an outcry. And we were partnered with some learning centers and daycares, and we just seen the kids that can't write their name, can't write in cursive. Don't. It was just like, wow.
Kids don't write cursive nowadays.
Yeah, I know they don't do a lot of stuff nowadays, man, including count. I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah, so
that's a
the
problem.
math is off. Yeah.
So I don't know if Save the Children SC is going to solve every problem, but in this community, we want to try to fight that and have some events, build some programs, some curriculums to kind of help these folks out, even on our homeschooling people who don't have access to the kind of things that we want to teach. They've been waiting for it. They've been wanting it for years, but never had access to it. So we're going to be helping them as well. So I think that's how we serve the community, man. That's how we give back to them, man, by creating opportunities for them to have what they need. What they do with it ain't in our control, but at least have it available, because clearly right now, from what I'm hearing, it's not being made available to them anymore.
Absolutely. So what's next for They Call Me Mr. Yu and your podcast network? Are you gonna bring it back, or are you just gonna keep it as just keep pushing the classics that you got in there, or is Mr. Yu gonna come back and hit him with some more?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I really don't. I love the fact that it's the brand now, so it's kind of like it's not really the name of a podcast anymore. It's the brand that all this stuff is under, all these shows are under.
Okay.
I kind of feel like if I do something, it'd be like one of those surprise, hey, for old time's sake, this is what I got for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like that stuff. But I think the inspiration stations kind of let me be audio only again, so I get a chance to kind of flow, if you will, in that space. So I don't see a need to do that. But I got there's so many episodes in it that I think people would love, and it's like hundreds of them. So I have to have those. I have 4 months of the year where I don't do much podcasting work. So I'm probably gonna be doing more blasts from the past. Had those pull out, repurpose them, put them out there, let people hear kind of what's going on. And I think the messages are still timely. They still work in 2025. They're still working 2026. So I'm excited about it, man. This has just been awesome ride. I don't know what's next, brother. I didn't know the men's roundtable was even coming, man. I was a surprise to me. I'm like, what? I didn't plan for that. So I don't know what's next, but right now we're rolling what we got, man, and I think it's going pretty well, man. Hopefully you're enjoying it too.
So a friend of mine, Mr. Whiskey, left a comment, and
That's my guy right there.
yeah, Mr. Whiskey, that's my boy. Mr. Yu is on point. The literacy ability of the next new generations and lack of education, specifically life skills and actual useful knowledge, is sickening. People in my classes were unable to read analog clocks, Roman numerals, and do basic math. It is truly sad that the prices have gone drastically up and the implementation and actual teaching has gone down. He's absolutely right.
Mr. Whiskey's he's hitting it because I mean it is still going up, the cost and the prices of things, not just school but for supplies. And I ain't gonna get into college. That's just a whole different bird right there.
No.
But I mean, but he's right though. You know, the cost is going up, but the efficacy is going down, and that just ain't right. So I'm really hoping that we get the kind of support from people like you guys that know that Say the Children SC what it's about, what we're trying to accomplish, because we need all the support we can get. You know how nonprofit life is.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have no money sitting in the till. You know what I'm saying? This is it's donations, and we're looking to try to build through grants and things like that. So these kids are worth it, man. So we're fighting for them. That's what Save the Children SC is all about, man. We're trying to fight the good fight, collaborate with some people who can help us move the needle on behalf of these kids. That's what it is, man.
So, how do you envision blending ministry and media to impact the next generation?
Well, I feel like just I want to put things into a ministry box. I try to avoid that everywhere I can because people who are not actively serving in ministry see ministry a certain way that's different than the person who's actually in it. They see it as, oh, something that church is trying to do to get me to do blank or to get my money or this or that. And so for me, I feel like if we are living the kind of life that we talk about, if we are ascribing to the kind of value system that we talk about, it's not a campaign. I'm just showing you how I live.
Absolutely.
If you listen to any of the shows that we do, if you listen to the Giant, if you listen to Big Blue Lifers, if you listen to our Giant show, if you listen to me very carefully, you can hear that I have not gotten away from who I am. I haven't gotten away from who I am when it comes to talking about my faith and being encouraging and being inspirational and trying to just stay on that in that vein. I haven't left it. I just happen to be talking about my favorite football team, but I haven't left it. And I feel like ministry can come out in so many different ways. It's not just the one that a church or organization can dictate. It comes out in different ways. For me, I'm like, this is easy for me to do ministry in this space. I'm not even struggling. I struggle with more the responses and things that I see more than me doing this. And I feel like even though I put it out there, maybe if 4 people like it and nobody else cares, that's fine. But I know that I'm doing this with that kind of heart, the heart that a minister should have. So I'm looking at this like this is a great opportunity to reach, like we talk about, reach the world.
Yeah.
I mean, podcasting is going everywhere, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I met people way far on the other side of the world through
Brother,
my podcast.
I've interviewed people
You
from
with me?
Taiwan, India, Australia, China, Japan. I've interviewed people from all over the world. So I feel you. I know what the connection that we have and the reach that we're able to, like, it's we're really global. Like, being able to reach people all over the world now. It's completely different now with 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 the way we grew up. It was different. We didn't have this interaction and this. It was just the beginning of the internet. We were doing dial up and shit like that. So we know that we've seen the evolution of this. We've seen where it started to where it's at now, and so to be able to have a global reach and impact other people all over the world now, like not just in your local community. Now you're able to make an impact globally and touch people. So I'm blessed to be able to do this, man, and I'm honored
No doubt.
to continue to be able to be myself and just build a legacy that my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, will be proud of.
You're doing it, brother.
So what advice would you give to someone who feels stuck in pain or doubt right now?
Huh. I guess I paused. It's not because I never heard the question before, but I paused because in this new space that I am as a coach, I'm trying to hear things differently and make sure that I'm answering things in the appropriate way. But I guess it depends on what the person is stuck in and what they're doubting. I think I want to, for me, my instant approach is to ask more questions because I can do what some coaches do and give you a pad answer, but I just can't do that. When I do these free 30-minute strategy calls, I'm not asking no pad. I'm not giving no pad answers to people. I want to know what we're talking about. I want to scale all the way down to the lowest common denominator and find out what are we talking about. So before I even pretend to even think about giving an answer. So I want to know why you're stuck. Where did you think you were supposed to be? What was your actual plan? What are you doubting? What did you originally believe about said thing. And then we can start getting down to filtering down to, okay, beliefs versus reality, and find out where they meet and where they don't meet, where they don't coincide, and then start asking some questions and offering some advice. So that makes sense.
Awesome, man. Brother, this has been great, man. Look, we've almost hit the hour mark, man. That's great. That's dope. I love it. I
You're a
love
good interviewer, man. Thank you, brother.
I
Appreciate it.
love being able to connect with someone, especially someone from Brooklyn, and help give a platform where people come and share their ideas and share their thoughts and share their stories. So I appreciate you stopping by and being a part of this, man. Thank you.
Same here, brother. You gotta stay with me now. If you want to get on this round table, you gotta stay with me. You know
I
that.
know we definitely gonna collab some more, man. This ain't the first Wize and Mr. Yu collaboration. Believe me, bro.
Copy that. I love it.
We gonna make stuff happen.
Thank you, brother. This is
Fans,
good.
Giants fans gotta stick together, man. Nah, man.
Yes, yes, we do.
We gotta definitely do.
We do.
We definitely collab more, brother. But like I said, I appreciate it. But now we've come to this part where you get the solo screen and you need to plug away, let them know where to find you, everything, website, everything.
All right. Well, I try to keep that real brief, man. Right now, we're working on some stuff with websites. So the easiest route is to go into our podcasting hosting website, which is They Call Me Mr. Yu, MISTAYU.buzzsprout.com. They Call Me Mr. Yu.buzzsprout.com. Give you a chance to catch all the episodes I was telling you about before and be able to hear all of those and get more information about what we're doing as a media company. You can catch all that stuff. In regards to me as a coach, if you're looking for that, or you just want to have some questions about what we do regarding mentorship and any kind of high performance coaching, I'm your man for that. You can reach out to me and book a 30-minute free strategy call. I'm happy to help you. I ain't trying to get you as a client. I just want to just hear what you got going on, perhaps give you some help. There's a quote from a gentleman named Zig Ziglar that I love. He said, if you help enough people get what you want in life, you'll get what you want in life. That's how I live. That's how I function. That's how I operate. So it's going to be calendly.com/ Yusef Michael Marshall / everyday edge coach. Hopefully we can get into the notes, but it's calendly.com/ Yusef Michael Marshall / everyday edge coach. Check us out. I love to hear from you guys and hear what you got going on. Perhaps we can help one another. But thanks for the time on this, Mr. Wize, man. You've been awesome in doing this, man, and it's been an awesome show, man. A little stuck in my mind. Now it's stuck in my mind. I can't get it out now.
I appreciate you coming through, man, and sharing.
Same, man.
But don't leave just yet.
I'm here,
let me close out the show, and me and you'll chop it up a little bit off the air. But man, thank you again for being such a wonderful guest, man. Greatly.
Same here, brother. Thanks for having me in, man.
Thank you, brother. All right, everybody. Another great episode is in the books, man. I appreciate Mr. Whiskey for stopping by and leaving a comment. Thank you, brother, for showing love and support. And if Mr. Yu's story spoke to you, go follow They Call Me Mr. Yu and support his nonprofit, Save the Children at Sea. And if you know someone who's struggling with faith, family, or purpose, share this episode with them. Because sometimes hearing the right story is all it takes to change a life. So stay faithful, stay strong, stay wise. You know how your boy Wize does it. Peace out.